sector in the stock market.
FSN HD.
Today, 6 football teams from across the state of Missouri descend on St. Louis for their chance at greatness.
To get what we deserve, to get what we worked for, so put it out there and let's get it!
It's the day that since late July has been circled on the calendar for these 6 schools.
You know what you've been waiting for? They want to take it away from you. Let's go.
Today, champions will be crowned in classes 2, 4, and 6. And we'll have every touchdown, every celebration, every emotional moment. It's the Misha Show Me Bowl from the Edward Jones Dome. And it starts right now.
Downtown St. Louis on a Friday afternoon as the undefeated Lawson Cardinals, the 11-2 Blair Oaks Falcons, set to kick off our state football coverage here on FSN Midwest. Yes, the home of the Rams being taken over today by some of the best high school football teams in the state of Missouri. Lawson and Blair Oaks set to kick off in about 5 minutes here on FSN. And welcome to the 2007 Misha Show Me Bowl. 12 teams, 6 games in 2 days, and we'll have all the action right here for Friday all day long, right here on FSN Midwest. I'm Joel Goldberg, getting you ready for 10 hours of coverage throughout the day. We've got 3 games. First up on the schedule is the Class II championship between Lawson from the Kansas City area and Blair Oaks of Jefferson City. And without further ado, we head over to the Edward Jones Dome and the gentlemen who will call the game, Dan McLaughlin and Richard Baldinger. Guys, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you. You mentioned 10 hours of coverage. Well, this is our 10th year at FSN Midwest, bringing you the high school championships. When we take a look at this game to kick it off, the first of this triple header, Blair Oaks and Lawson, 2 teams that have pretty good offenses.
They do, and I'm glad that I had that big turkey dinner yesterday because I'm going to need all the energy. But yes, talking about Blair Oaks, looking to repeat in the Class II championship, but Lawson, talked to their head coach Todd Dunn. He said, you know what, we were here a few years ago. The kids were in all of the dome. They look to get over that today and get a victory.
Let's talk about the quarterbacks, too. These are 2 of the best, obviously, in Class II. They're also 2 of the best in the state of Missouri. What stands out about these 2?
Well, when you talk about for Blair Oaks, it's also talking about Justin Eichen in terms of what he's put up in numbers. Look at the touchdowns. 16 on the year. He's a dual threat. He's also rushed the ball for over 1,000 yards. And for the other side, Casanavoy for Lawson, here's a guy who leads the wing T offense. It's all about deception and misdirection. Make sure you read your keys or else you're in for a long day.
It is a triple header of football here on FSN Midwest. What do you think it's going to be like for these kids? Some of them 14, 15 years old. You've got 16, 17, 18-year-olds out there. But playing for a state title, what's it going to be like?
It's a tremendous atmosphere. And I'll tell you what, even me as a former player, when I walk into a football atmosphere, I still get excited. So I know these young kids have been thinking about this all year. They probably haven't been able to eat any turkey dinner. So they want to come away. It's a great atmosphere right now. And for high school kids, this is what it's all about. Championship. You'll remember this for your grandchildren when you're sitting with them on the porch step.
Well, for all of us at FSN Midwest, it should be an exciting afternoon of football. The kickoff is coming up next. Let's send it back to the studio and Joel.
All right, Dan, Richard, thank you very much. We'll see you throughout the day, and we're getting you ready now for the Class II state championship. Blair Oaks looking for their 3rd title in 4 years. Undefeated Lawson in search of their 1st ever state football championship. Enjoy the football all day here on FSN Midwest.
Let Bates Electric light your life. Bates Electric is licensed, bonded, and insured with certified technicians for the highest quality of work. Bates Electric, proud sponsor of this Blues postgame show.
This is very big news, so let's go now to Dan Bellman at Bellman Buick Pontiac GMC, direct from the dealership. Dan?
Thanks, Jim. Well, it is big news. GM just announced 0% financing for 60 months on all remaining 2007 Buicks, Pontiacs, GMCs, including Explorer conversion vans. We only have about 90 of these left, so with 0% for 60 months, these 2007s are going to move fast. So come on in today for the best selection.
You heard him, folks. Hurry into Bellman Buick Pontiac GMC, located at I-270 and McDonald Boulevard, or go to Bellman.com.
Let Bates Electric light your life. Residential or commercial, Bates Electric offers electrical inspections. Bates Electric, proud sponsor of the Blues postgame show.
The 2007 Show Me Bowl on FSN Midwest is brought to you by Touchstone. Football players are part of Arcoa, and Touchstone is tapping into the power of human connections. And coming August 2008, it's the 7th Annual State Sportsmanship Summit, presented by Misha, keeping respect in interscholastic sports.
Edward Jones Dome in downtown St. Louis. Class 2, Class 4, and Class 6 will all be awarded a state title this afternoon and this evening. Along with Richard Boldinger, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Nice to have you with us from the Edward Jones Dome in St. Louis. You see the coin toss taking place as we speak. Lawson, #1 in the state in Class 2. They are 13-0 on this season. Blair Oaks, the Falcons, they are 11-2. And we will crown our Class 2 state title and a championship this afternoon.
Yeah, it's going to be a great afternoon of football here. And folks, I'll tell you what, for Lawson, you were talking about the wing tee offense. It's all about the buck sweep, the counter, and a guy who likes to run the football. This is going to make for an exciting afternoon.
Blair Oaks, 11-2, 2 losses to Class 3 teams this year. Moberly and Borgia, a Class 3 semifinalist. And for Blair Oaks, they've been there before. They're attempting to win their 3rd championship in the past 4 years.
Yeah, for Blair Oaks, it all starts about with their quarterbacks. I said Justin Eichen, but also too talk about Kyle Henke. Last week in their playoff game, he recovered he blocked 2 punts, and recovered a fumble. He's an exciting guy on both sides of the football.
We have reporters on both sidelines, Scott Warman and Jim Hayes. Let's start with Mr. Hayes. Jim.
All right, guys, Richard mentioned that Lawson runs the wing tee offense. It's an offense that's an option offense based totally on misdirection. It's a kind of offense, if you don't see it a lot, you can get lost real quick. The good news for Blair Oaks, they've seen it 3 times this season. We'll see how they fare against Lawson today. Let's go back to you.
Jim. Blair Oaks has outscored their opponents 446 to 155 this season. Blair Oaks never trailed in their sectional game against Centralia. They won that one 30-21. Never trailed in the quarterfinal game against Trenton. Won that 28-6. And then the semifinal, never trailed in that game over Maplewood 42-14. So this is a team that has had success in the past and riding high coming into this championship game.
Yeah, well, they understand. They've been here before. They understand what it takes. That's why they came back. You talked about maybe 2 losses early in the season, 1 to Moberly, 1 to Borgia. They were able to fight through that. The coach said the players understood what it took. They came back. They showed the confidence and the leadership, and that's why they're here in the championship game. Brad
Dreely out of the Missouri Valley, and then came back to the high school ranks. His 2nd year at the school. And he's 24-3 in his 2 years. Lawson will kick it off to Blair Oaks. Troy Green will kick it off. Mr. Everything for the Cardinals of Lawson, undefeated this season. And 13-0 and ranked #1 in Class 2 at the start of the season, by the way. Blair Oaks was ranked #1, and they currently are ranked #6 because of those 2 losses. Kick is handled at the 3-yard line. Good coverage across the 15. And Blair Oaks, the Falcons, will have it 1st and 10 on their own 17. That was Derek Schickles on the return. So away we go. And Justin Eichen, a 6-foot junior, as we highlighted in the open, runs this offense. Over 1,100 yards passing, over 1,100 yards rushing, and he's been a part of 31 touchdowns this season. Two men in the backfield, little option play. Eichen will pitch it. And it's strung out defensively. Nice job. In on that stop, Troy Green, the linebacker and the senior for the Cardinals of Lawson.
Yeah, running that option, you've got to make sure you're looking for inside pursuit help from the linebackers. And that time, Troy Green, number 16, doing an excellent job. Excuse me, that's Casanovoid, number 16, coming down the line, doing a good job, stretching it out, reading his keys. And then you're right, that was Green and Casanovoid in on the tackle.
And Schickles shaking up on the play. And Schickles is one of those rushers that they count on, closing in on 1,000 this season. So first play of the ball game, and we've got an injured Falcon.
It looked like he landed on that football right on the hard turf. But hey, when you have a chance, you watch the quarterback, Casanovoid, number 16 for Lawson. Tall guy. You say he's 6'6", but he looks taller. Long legs, good speed, and he got a lot of range sideline to sideline. Going to Kansas State, committed verbally already for quarterback. It's Ron Prince.
Very quiet inside here at the Edward Jones Dome in our Class II final. And that was Derek Schickles, a junior that was shook up on the play. He's got 12 touchdowns on the season for the Falcons. They also will go with Kyle Hankey, and you'll also see the quarterback Justin Eichen run the football an awful lot. Nice round of applause as Schickles is up.
Take a look again. I think he landed on that football on that tackle to the sideline. Again, making sure the young player is okay. And
wind knocked out of him probably. Yep. Well, for Lawson, 12th appearance in school history for the Cardinals. Their 5th consecutive appearance in the state playoffs. No state championships. So trying to win their first state title in football today, and they were the runner-up back in 2003.
Exactly right. And talking to a coach this week on the phone, head coach Todd Dunn, he said, you know, we came here before, the kids were in all the dome. Now he said they've been over that. They've been practicing at the Chiefs indoor facility. They went over to work in Missouri at the indoor facility. He wanted to get them used to playing in the indoor facilities.
2nd down and 8. Going nowhere are the Falcons. Stepped on the play was Kyle Hankey, the senior.
And Noah Jordan, number 64 on that.
Kyle Hankey right there wears number 33. You might remember the name Tom Hankey. Outstanding closer in the major leagues for a number of years with the Toronto Blue Jays and the St. Louis Cardinals. He finished up with St. Louis, and that is his nephew out there. That's Justin Eichen. The numbers for Eichen this season brought to you by Touchstone Energy, the quarterback for the Blair Oaks Falcons. 3rd down and 6 with the ball on the 21. Eichen only a junior. They'll work from the shotgun. And a flag on the play from the middle of the field.
Delay game on that, it looks like.
Delay game on the offense. Repeat 3rd down.
5 yards. So delay of game. A longer 3rd down here on the first possession now for Blair Oaks. See Coach Greeley saying, let's go, let's go. 3rd down and 11. Eichen standing on his own 10. Falcons working from the shotgun, low snap. Eichen takes it, rolls left, looking for an open man, has him. Catch made by Otto, and a 1st down it looks like. Be very close for the Blair Oaks Falcons.
Yeah, Brandon Otto, the leading receiver for Blair Oaks, 32 catches on the year for 477 yards. Doing a good job of just on the comeback, seeing his quarterback in trouble though. Scramble drill coming back and giving your quarterback a target for the 1st down.
So they pick up the 1st down. Brandon Otto, a 5'10" senior, part of the starting lineup for the Falcons. There's a look at their skill players. We saw that Schickles got hurt on the first play. We'll dive ahead, a pickup of 2 for the Falcons. They are located near Jefferson City. And for the Lawson Cardinals, they play in the KCI, which is north of Kansas City.
Yeah, they do. They're up north. It's right north of Liberty, up in near the Excelsior Springs area. School known for also for their wrestling program. Always in the top in the state of Missouri for wrestling.
Well, for Kyle Hankey, who wears number 33, as you mentioned before, he's been a part of 4 state titles, 2 in football and 2 in baseball, and he was part of the wrestling program last year. They'll throw again, wide open out of the backfield. Joe Lubert. And he's wrestled down by Casanovoid. Another big pickup and another 1st down for the Falcons. So success so far, Richard, through the air.
Yeah, they have, and you see them right now, their ability just to be able to free release number 5, Luber, on the outside, and they're just getting a nice cushion from the corner. He reads it, so I'm just going to run that quick out. You see the missed tackle in the open field right now, seeing both corners for Lawson. They're running a 34 defense. They're giving a nice cushion. Receivers read it. They're just going to turn, run those quick outs, hitches. It's an easy pitch and catch.
10th catch of the season for Joe Lubert, a 5'9" junior for the Falcons, and they are driving now here on this first possession of the ball game. Eichen again, great catch. Otto His second grab on this drive.
Climb the ladder, Otto, and get some elevation, reaching up for that. Take a look at it. He's working against number 4, Nathan Robinson, the corner. And he's, again, you can see the cushion that he's going to get, and he just goes up in skies and brings that ball down with one hand. Take a look at it. Get some time in the pocket. Justin Eichen a little bit, but look at that. One-handed grab. Concentration. Come down with that ball, big fella, for the first down.
Eichen pitches it to Schickles, back in the ball game. Tucks it up, picks up the first down across the 40. Good to see Derek Schickles back in there. Let's meet the defense of the Lawson Cardinals. Their head coach, Todd Dunn. Emery, Mellon, and Payne up front. Cash and Avoid, the quarterback, also a linebacker. And of course, you see in high school, and this is brought to you by Touchstone Energy, a lot of players that will play on both sides of the football. Robinson, Green, Matthews, and Maish in that secondary for the Cardinals. Troy Green, one of the top defenders for Lawson. 1st and 10 with the ball on the 38. Eichen wants to throw again. Rolls left, open man, diving catch near a first down. Great catch once again, and this time it's Kyle Henke.
That time going to Otto again on the out. Henke on the rollout, buying some time. He feels the pressure, but you like the way the quarterback can still deliver the football. And there's Otto. Watch where he puts this. And again, you see the pressure in the pocket. Eichen able still, he can't really get his feet set, but still can put enough on that football, and Otto's able to just reach out. And where he placed that football, I thought maybe it would be an interception, but Otto came back to the ball that one step. There he can come away with a great reception.
4 completions for 48 yards for Eichen. This is an 8-play drive so far. They've picked up 55 yards. And remember, they converted that long 3rd down and 11 deep in their own end, and that's been a big difference in this drive.
And that's the one thing about this offense. It's multi-purpose. You can go vertical with it, and also they've got the power running game. They've had success going outside. You see them coming now with the dive play, and what that does, keeps those linebackers on it. So it's going to make them take their first step forward. What that does then, it gives you that space between them and maybe the 3 back in the defensive backfield. Now you've got that place to work in terms of throwing the football in the rollout. 2nd down and 8, ball on the 25 for the Falcons. Eichen to throw, rolls left again, looking end zone, and touchdown. Brandon Otto. What a first drive for him. Oh, excellent job that time by Brandon Otto that time. He just ran an out and up on this, and he got Robinson to bite on the out move. They've run this 4 times now on the rollout. You can see it. He set it up perfect. Take a look at Eichen on the rollout, buying some time. This time he gets his feet set. Look at him launch the ball. He reads it perfectly, knows he's going to get hit, and again, can't quite see the route, but again, look at Otto going up for the high point of the ball, catches it with his hands, not his body. You like to see it. A lot of times in high school, you don't always see it. Otto doing a good job that time on running the route.
25-yard touchdown reception. Schickles on for the extra point. Boots it through. Impressive opening drive. And when you take a look at the drive, a lot of it, Brandon Otto. 4 catches, 61 yards. And a touchdown for Brandon Otto. His 8th touchdown of the season, and the Falcons draw first. 25 yards on the touchdown reception. 7-0 Blair Oaks.
High school activities in Missouri.
They add self-confidence and teach responsibility.
They teach fair play and respect.
They support our educational mission.
They reward hard work and focus on team.
They challenge me to strive for excellence and support others.
And most importantly, they're fun.
This message provided by the 760 member schools of the Missouri State High School Activities Association.
Electric co-ops don't just generate power. They generate ideas. We also share them. At your Touchstone Energy Cooperative, we never stop thinking of ways to help everyone be more energy efficient. New technologies to improve reliability. Opportunities that can benefit us all. We know a single idea can spark hundreds. With all those ideas coming into contact, we can create solutions to whatever challenges come our way.
Columbia Photo is doing it again. Free prints, free software, and free classes. From now till Christmas, buy any digital camera from Columbia Photo. Pay the same price as the big stores, but receive so much more. 39 years of experience to help you choose the right camera. 100 prints from our lab, free. A $50 imaging software program, free. And access to our camera classes, all for free. Columbia Photo, your Christmas goodie store.
There's a look at the quarterback for the Lawson Cardinals, Joe Casinovoid. As Richard told you, the 6'6" senior has verbally committed to Kansas State, play for Ron Prince next year. And he is one of the top quarterbacks in the state of Missouri.
Yes, he is. And had a chance to just go down on the field and watch him in warm-ups. I'm telling you, he's an impressive-looking young man. He can definitely be a bigger individual. He's got long arms, throws a nice pass. But again, this is all about the wing T. And it takes a quarterback making sure the ball's going to the right running back, wing back, and wide receiver.
Casinovoid, also a linebacker. But Ron Prince is saying they want to see him as a quarterback in college. Completed nearly 60% of his passes, over 1,100 yards, only 1 INT on the season.
And he said that's the most important stat. So you know he's already got the proper thinking. Reduce turnovers. That's how you win football games.
Blair Oaks, an impressive drive to start the game. 82 yards, and they lead it 7-0. Ball is loose. And Lawson picks it up. David Noblet, the leading rusher for Lawson, picked up the loose football.
And that play was Tyler Stark.
Dearduff, Noblet, Swartz, Petz, and Green. We'll call Troy Green's name an awful lot this afternoon. Both sides of the football. Payne, Jordan, Bright, Emery, and Embry up front in that offensive line.
And Jordan and Emery, both guards, will be running a lot. It takes place when you run in the wing T offense.
Casinovoid, 2nd down and 10 with the ball on the 30. David Noblet, the 220-pound senior, a pickup of maybe 2 on the play.
Coming back with the belly there, and it's all about the 3 main plays when you talk about this wing T is the buck sweep, pulling of the guards. You also have the fullback trap, the counter, the belly, and what it does, you're trying to hit both the strength and the weak side. It balances up the offense, forces defense now to cover the whole field.
3rd down and 6. You get a look at the defense for the Falcons of Blair Oaks. Most of those players on offense too. Casinovoid to throw the football, slings it out to the wide side, and the catch is made. Logan Petz, leading receiver for the Cardinals. His 22nd catch, and you get a little bit of an idea of the arm strength of Casinovoid. He can really, really throw the football.
He can fire it. In fact, when we were sitting up there watching him warming up, you even noticed that. You even said that, how he can launch the football. But I'll tell you what, he's got long arms, nice delivery, and he's got good strength. You see him going from one hash mark to the other hash mark with wide receiver Logan Petz that time. Usually in the wing T, it's not usually about passing, it's all about running. But with this quarterback, Casinovoid, you get a dual purpose.
Pickup of 16. Hand off to Ian Swartz. He's going nowhere. Loses 2 on the play. Brandon Otto is in on that stop.
Also number 33, Diamond Sawyer. And the one thing about this key, when you play the wing T, it's about getting penetration. You've got to make sure nose tackle, defensive tackle, and the Mike backer, reading your keys. Once you see you have an opening, get through, tackle anything, because if you get penetration, it takes the whole timing of the play off.
Loss of 2 on the play. Ball on the 48. 2nd down and 12. We'll swing it to the far side. Going nowhere again. Justin Eichen with the stop. The quarterback, and also he works as a defensive back. Good play.
Yeah, Justin Eichen that time, number 1, stepping up and doing a good job there. And that he comes up, reads it, and he's got run support, number 1, and makes a good open field tackle. Trying to run the buck sweep that time, Lawson. Got to be able to come up and cane it, turn it back inside.
They've had 4 rushes on their opening drive, and they've not picked up a yard yet. 3rd and 14. Just over 4 minutes to go, first quarter. Casinovoid rolling left. Avoids pressure. tucks it under. Close to a first down. Very close. They may have to come out and measure.
Casinovoy that time buying some time in the pocket, feeling the heat, able to escape the pressure and get upfield. Look at the big quarterback, 6'6". As I said, he looks taller. He's got those long legs, nothing downfield. He's got to take it on his own. Now he's going to turn into a fullback.
Little stiff arm.
Little stiff arm, put his pads down. I'll tell you what, put another 20 pounds on him. You get yourself a big fullback there.
It's 4th and inches. Just short of that first down marker. Casinovoy sneaks it, picks up the first down.
6'6", powerful young man. Good job taking a step back, going behind right guard and center that time for the first down.
Well, we had a chance to visit with the Lawson Cardinals head coach, and he was just glowing. It's Todd Dunn glowing about his quarterback and what a great athlete he is.
Yeah, he does. And again, doing a good job getting his pads down. Somebody that tall, you got to make sure you stay down. Don't get a little high that time. Expose your body, expose that football. Chance for a fumble that time. Doing a good job picking up the first down.
1st and 10 with the ball on the 37. Casinovoy throws again. Catch is made. Logan Petz inside the 10 to the 5, close to that goal line and knocked out of bounds at the 1. Logan Petz, his 2nd catch of the afternoon.
Logan Petz looking to hit pay dirt on that, and again, yards after catch. Then you can catch the ball. You have to be able to tackle in the open field. That time, Logan Petz able to catch the ball and spin and get up the field. I like the way this ball is delivered with some velocity to the outside. Now Logan Petz has a chance to make that spin. He can make that turn before the defensive back can make a break on the ball. And you see that's the reason why, number 1, Justin Eichen missed on the tackle.
Petz, 2 catches, 52 yards. First drive for the Cardinals. They'll try to tie it up. Casinovoy diving forward, reaching for that goal line, and I don't think he got it.
Michael Singer, number 40, looked like he laid the pop going over the top, the linebacker that time.
So 2nd and goal. Been 9 plays, 69 yards, closing in on 5 minutes on this drive. Sneak it again, and he didn't get it again.
You might want to try page 2 of the playbook.
Well, when they had that 4th and inches to keep this drive alive, Casinovoy snuck it, picked up 3, maybe 4 yards on that play, and twice now at the goal line they've tried to sneak it in.
And Todd Alexander down inside there, number 78, getting some penetration that time. Underneath the pads of the center, able to put a wall of China up.
Do they do it again? No. Let's see. He's going to work out of the shotgun. Man in motion. Casinovoy hands it off, and it's a touchdown.
Line up in that wing T formation. This time just give it to the fullback, diving up the middle. Number 32 on that play.
David Noblet, the 220-pound senior.
And again, defense looking for something coming outside with that alignment. Give it to your fullback, and look at the movement they get inside again on number 78 this time. They get some good movement on Todd Alexander. Get a double team at the point of attack. Fullback number 32, David Noblet. It's a nice running lane, picks up the touchdown.
11 plays, 70 yards, took 5 minutes and 19 seconds on the drive. Extra point is up and good. And we are tied 7-7. Quite a start between Blair Oaks. They scored on their opening drive. Lawson, the Cardinals answer. 7-7 with 1:57 to play, first quarter.
It's true. The only time we think about electricity is when the power goes out. Then every minute seems like an eternity. Luckily, as a member of a Touchstone Energy cooperative in Missouri, the people working on our behalf have the training, high-tech resources, and motivation to restore power as quickly and as safely as humanly possible. See what I mean? When it comes to electricity, you know you have an outstanding team working for you when you hardly notice them at all.
This isn't the right way to win. Neither is this. Using anabolic steroids, it's cheating, it's illegal, and it can end your life.
Make the right choice. Go to avoidsteroids.com to find out how. A message from the National Federation of High Schools with support from the NBA and NHL.
Plays, 70 yards, took 5 minutes and 19 seconds. The scoring drive for the Cardinals of Lawson. Noblet, 1-yard touchdown run on 3rd and goal.
Seeing both offenses using both the pass and the run efficiently, picking up some yardage. And in high school, usually when you get that nice cushion for the wide receivers, it's easy to just throw those hitches and comebacks and slants. Pick up first down.
Troy Green kicks it away. And backing up, Eichen. And a touchback.
The rules in high school automatically take that in the end zone, cover it. It's automatic touchback.
Let's check in with Joel Goldberg back in the studio.
All right, guys, last weekend, another fall sport concluded here in St. Louis. The Class 3 soccer champions were crowned. Rockhurst needed only one shot on goal to win their 3rd championship. Rockhurst defeating St. Louis University High 1-0 to win the Class 3 soccer championship. Let's send it back now to the Dome. Dan McLaughlin and Richard Baldwin.
All right, Joel, thank you very much. 1:57 to play in our first quarter. Falcons scored on their first drive. The Cardinals did as well. Up the middle, and this may go for a touchdown. To the 40, to the 30, inside the 20, and brought down at the 17.
By a shoestring tackle.
Kyle Hankey with a huge pickup of 63 yards on the play.
Running the option, burst through that hole that time, able to pick up a rather sufficient gain for the first down.
And remember, it was basically Eichen through the air, and that's the success on that first drive, but this time they run it right up the gut.
And they've had success running the football. It started outside with some sweeps, now they pound it back inside, and that time a gaping hole. Good job up front in terms of sustaining blocks.
Up the gut again, and they're going to say that the ball is loose. Tackle on the play, Noah Jordan was in there, but Blair Oaks retains possession. Blair Oaks on their first scoring drive was a 25-yard touchdown pass. Brandon Otto, the receiver, picked it up, and he had an impressive first drive for the Falcons.
You're seeing good speed on both teams at the skill position. Thank you for Blair Oaks. Logan Peltz for Lawson. Also the quarterback, Castonboy.
Eichen hands it off, and they're going nowhere. Let's check in on the sidelines for the first time this afternoon with Scott Warman.
And thank you so much. We talked to the Blair Oaks coaching staff before the game, and we asked them, we said, hey, you guys got an advantage playing in this facility. Last year, of course, winning the state championship. But Dan, they said maybe a little bit at the outset, but probably as the game goes on, should be no problem for Lawson as well, Dan.
Yeah, it was interesting in talking with the coaching staff of Lawson. They said that the thing that stands out to them, having been here before, the dome gets hot.
It does.
And that's something that they weren't really used to, and they had been in this position before, and that's why, as you mentioned, Richard, they trained at the Chiefs facility. They also went to the University of Missouri, their indoor facility. They were here in '03, and he said, our kids were just in awe of this facility, but yet it also got real hot, and we weren't ready for that at all.
Yeah, there's just no breeze inside the dome. I remember playing for the Chiefs. We used to go up to Seattle. You would play the game, and then you'd come outside, and you felt like you'd been in a cave all afternoon. And so there is an effect on that, but usually once the game gets going, you start sweating, you get into the game, all those things usually go by the wayside.
Justin Eichen did have some success rolling to his left, and they've got a 3rd down and 9 coming up on this play with 25 seconds to go in our first quarter.
Yeah, looking for Brandon Otto, and I like the wide receiver Brandon Otto for high school there. He does a good job, 5'10", 200 pounds. He's their leading receiver. Does a good job catching the ball with his hands, extends his arms. And that's the most important thing. It's the first thing you have to learn to be a good wide receiver in terms of fighting for the ball, but also how to catch the ball.
Ball is on the 17. 3rd and 9. Eichen looking end zone. Again, he's got him. Another touchdown for Brandon Otto.
Great throw that time by Justin Eichen. How about coming all the way across the hash marks on this one, and he finds Otto that time. Otto's just getting a cushion. He just works to the sidelines. Take a look at it. Eichen's under pressure from the blitz, still stands into the pocket, and there's Otto. You see how he comes back to the football? Good job of giving his quarterback a big target. Nice play. Nice game.
17-yard touchdown reception for Brandon Otto, his 2nd in the game, his 9th on the year. Schickles on for the extra point. 4 plays, 80 yards. Extra point is good. It only took 1 minute and 38 seconds, and Blair Oaks back on top for the 2nd time today. It's 14-7.
Again, seeing Justin Eichen able to set his feet in the pocket, and even under duress, he can still hit the football. Take a look at Eichen in the pocket here, and again, he's going to, corner blitz is going to come from this side over here. Excuse me, it's the linebacker coming from the inside. He's able to elude him, stand in the pocket, and then he finds Otto, who's just working in the corner. But again, see how he comes back for just that one step? So important. So many receivers will run flat. That time you see Otto come back, and what that makes, make sure that the defensive back cannot make a break on the football.
This week, College Football Saturday returns to FSN, a doubleheader beginning with the College Football Saturday Kickoff Show presented by Kyocera. Then Oklahoma State takes on number 10 Oklahoma, showdown between bitter in-state rivals, followed by Washington State battling Washington in the Apple Cup. Coverage begins this week at 2 in high definition, and it's only here on FSN Midwest. College Football Saturday. Let's check back in momentarily here, Richard, with Jim Hayes. Jim, take it away.
Dan, the Lawson coaching staff has been pleading with the defense, get some pressure on the quarterback. I can get some pressure. They did on that play, and he found Otto in the end zone anyway. They did what they wanted to do, but Eichen was able to find his guy in the end zone. Dan?
How about Brandon Otto so far? 5 catches, 78 yards, and 2 touchdowns, and that would be a game for a lot of folks. That's just in the first quarter.
And the thing, they're just going to have to tighten up coverage. Right now, they're just giving him too much of a cushion, and he's able to operate. And you can see the wide receiver does a good job of running his routes, also knows how to catch the football. You're going to have to get up in space and bang with him a little bit. Right now, Lawson's been running that 3 deep. They're going to have to look to change coverage, or else, I'll tell you what, they have no answer right now for Blair Oaks' offense in terms of throwing the football, how to stop him from throwing the football.
Schickles to kick it away for the Falcons. And that will come to Zach Matthews. He takes it at the 12. Matthews, big tackle. Didn't get much.
Tough to run that left return coming all the way back across the field. Allows defense to get pursuit, and whenever you run in east and west, gives defense an easy chance in terms of making the tackle.
Dustin Davis with the tackle. Try your hand at becoming a registered high school official. Take a chance and make a difference in the lives of students. For more information, visit MSHSAA.org. That's MSHSAA.org. Richard Baldinger, Dan McLaughlin, Scott Warman, and Jim Hayes downstairs. Glad you're with us this afternoon. Our triple header of high school championship football. Eventually, Ian Schwartz would pick up the football and picks up maybe 4 on the play.
He does, Ian Schwartz, and that was the little counter that time. And again, somebody goes away, stay at home because someone's coming back on that play. Again, so important, reading your keys.
First quarter in the books. A big first quarter for Brandon Otto with 2 touchdown receptions for Blair Oaks. 14-7 after 1 quarter of play.
The Red Bull Air Race World Series continues on FSN. 250 miles per hour, 10 G's. Motorsport's ultimate thrill ride. Wow! This season, pilots battle head-to-head over the most spectacular locations across the globe. The world's most dangerous sport takes flight. The Red Bull Air Race World Series from Perth, Monday on FSN.
Brick by brick, stone by stone, we built a place to call our own. Gonna fill it up with laughter, write my happy ever after. 'Cause for the first time in my life, I'm holding the key to a brand new life waiting on me. That's what makes a house a home.
Across the country and around the world, thousands of Habitat homeowners and millions of volunteers know the joy and pride of seeing a house become a home. A brighter future, one family at a time. Support Habitat's work in your community. Volunteer, get involved, and help build it. Visit Habitat.org.
That's what makes a house a home.
Game one of a triple header of football, high school football here on FSN Midwest, and it's 14-7, Blair Oaks with the lead.
Yeah, just talking about some of the plays, and I talked about the wing T. Now, here's your wingman outside here. Now, what this linebacker here, Singer, does is he's got to read the triangle right here. These three guys, wherever they go, especially that guard, if he pulls, he's got to fill. Watch him step back inside, meet the guard, square, take him on, get in on the play, force the back now into pursuit. Excellent job on the defense time by Blair Oaks, reading their keys and staying at home.
2nd down and 6 for Lawson, start of the second quarter. And Noblet spinning. Pickup of maybe 2, possibly 3 on the play. Take a look at the first quarter stats. A big first quarter for the Falcons. Brandon Otto with 2 touchdown receptions.
How about the quarterback, Justin Eichen, be able to deliver the football, rolling to his left all the time, and not always getting his feet set, getting his hips around, but still being able to launch that football.
3rd and 3. Casson Avoid. He could run for it. Leaping, and it looks like he picked up the first down. The extra effort. Joe Casson Avoid. That is 6'6", 215 pounds leaping through the air.
Well, let's get. Are you sure he's going to K-State for football? Or is it for track? I think he might be going for the steeplechase. Take a look at Casson Avoid on this. He gets some elevation. He's going over 2 that time to be able to pick up that first down. Excellent athleticism for a guy who's 6'6".
Casson Avoid with 5 rushes today, 20 yards on the ground. And he picked up the first down. 1st and 10, plenty of time. Steps up, delivers, and that's a strike and a catch. Travis Maish.
And that time too, just running on the flag, and that's just part of the waggle route. Now, if maybe you stop the running plays, take a look at Maish. That time, number 80 coming across. Just releases upfield. Excuse me, he's just the inside receiver, just running the quick out that time. Excellent throw by the quarterback, Kasanovic.
Pickup of 12 on the play. Another first down for the Cardinals and Todd Dunn, their head coach. Ball on the 37, 1st and 10, just over 10 minutes to play first half. Casson Avoid pitches it. This is Deerduff.
And an excellent job that time of Casson Avoid, the quarterback. When you run the option of play, watch number 13 on this play. Brandon Otto comes up. And what the quarterback does, he's got to press the line of scrimmage. He forces Otto, the player, to take him. Now the pitch play is open. We just call this a speed pitch. You see, now he makes that pitch, and now he has a chance for his tailback on the pitch. Number 3 that time, Ethan Deerduff, to be able to get some field, get north and south, pick up some nice yardage on the play.
2nd and 6. Casson Avoid flushed out of the pocket. throws, and in and out of the hands of Logan Petz. How about the arm strength of Casanovoid, and Petz is down.
He took a shot.
Across the middle, that's what's going to happen.
You do, but I'll tell you what, but how about Casanovoid? How about the way he moves inside the pocket and outside the pocket? And as you said, the arm strength going across from one hash to the other. Watch him set his feet, and I like the way he keeps his eyes down the field, finds Logan Petz, and Petz that time just takes a shot.
It's Derek Scheichels with the hit.
Go across the middle. You're going to get hit by a freight train. You better catch the ball every time.
3rd and 6 with the ball on the 41 for Lawson. Up the gut it goes, and they pick up the first down. Carry that time by Noblet, who had the touchdown for the Cardinals.
And that time Noblet just running. That's what we call the trap. That's just a trap play running. Watch the left guard pull, and again, you're just going to give it to your fullback up the middle. And what happens, both guards that time run the same action as the sweep, except the left guard this time will get around, get on the linebacker. Now you give it to the fullback in the middle. The reason why that play worked well, linebackers were thinking it's a sweep to the outside. It opens up the gaping hole inside for the fullback.
Both teams have had success on 3rd down conversions, so Cardinals are 4 of 5 in that spot. And this time they'll give it to Schwartz. Big pickup for him. He's close to another first down.
Schwartz that time just running behind both guards, and that's what we call our buck sweep play, folks. Now you got left guard kicking out, right guard pulling around up inside, and Schwartz that time showing good patience, letting the blocks take place inside for the nice gain. 2nd and 1 coming up for the Cardinals.
Both teams have scored on every possession so far.
Yeah, they have, and I'll tell you what, Lawson has shown effectiveness in both running the football and passing ball. I'll tell you what, K-State will be excited. They got themselves a good find here in this quarterback, Casanovoid.
Hands it off this time. Again, Schwartz. Another first down for the Cardinals on this drive.
Dominating up front right now. And this is difficult in terms of a lot of different actions, a lot of the same thing. You have to be able to stay at home. As I said, you're going to see the same action, but it might be just going to a different person running the football.
Todd Dunn, the head coach of the Cardinals. Coaching tree when you think about his father, 40 years. His dad was a head coach at Macon. And now his son on the cusp of a title. Casanovoid to his right, plenty of time. Over the middle and overshoots his intended target, Ethan Deerduff.
Yeah,
he was wide open.
He was wide open, and that's the waggle pass. That's the action that you can do off of that makes the defense now have to stay at home, that waggle pass. Now the guards are pulling out in front of the quarterback, leading the way, and that time a wide open Ethan Deerduff, number 3, just a little bit overthrown on the pass.
Of course, 3 games of football this afternoon. Hockey Sunday afternoon at 4:30 with the St. Louis Blues on FSN Midwest. 2nd and 10. Hand off to Deerduff. A lot of people around this state on both sides talking about college football tomorrow with Missouri and Kansas. Big 12 North title on the line.
I think a lot of people around the country are going to be looking at that game. The winner of that one probably going to the national championship. Maybe either one of those quarterbacks for the Heisman Trophy.
And with 7:37, stoppage in play. We'll take a timeout. We'll step aside. 3rd and 6 coming up for the Cardinals when we come back on FSN Midwest.
Hey, Travis.
Get some friends, loser.
Bro, you all right, man?
Lean on me
Thanks.
when you're not strong, and I'll be
Character. Pass it on.
I'll help you carry.
A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Moving is so much of who we are. It's easy to take it for granted. Multiple sclerosis stops people from moving. We exist to make sure it doesn't. Join the movement, the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, at nationalmssociety.org.
The first case of HIV/AIDS was identified 25 years ago. Since then, 25 million people have died.
5,000 people die daily. The fight against this disease still hasn't produced a cure.
So why should I care?
Because of the future, because of friends,
because of strangers, and because every voice, every person, because it could be me,
brings us that much closer.
So, why?
Why? Why should I care?
Because I do. Join the fight.
12th play of the drive coming up, a 3rd down and 6. Let's go back to that last play, Richard.
Yeah, just take a look at it. This is what we call our counter here. The wing's going to come this way, give it to your halfback, follow the guard and tackle. Watch the middle linebacker here get screwed up, but they have 8 men in the box, so they're able to stop the play. If not, this would have been a big running play for Lawson.
Casson Avoid on 3rd and 6. Tucks it under. Picks up the 1st down and brought down inside the 25. So again, they convert on 3rd down. They're 5 of 6 in those spots. And let's check in for the 2nd time this afternoon with Scott Warman as we take a look at the replay as well.
Yeah, Casson Avoid again doing a good job. I tell you what, I like the way he's mobile. Somebody who's 6'6", he's able to dig down the field.
Let's check in with Scott.
And thanks the coaching staff for reminding him on this drive for Blair Oaks. Hey, you guys got to keep your assignments. And Richie, I know you talked about this with this wing team. You lose out of your assignments and you're going to get out of play, especially with Casson Avoid as that quarterback, Dan.
Exactly right. And at the linebacker, especially the middle linebacker, you got to read that triangle. It's both guards in the center inside. What the guard does tells you where the play's going.
Going nowhere is Ian Schwartz. Under 7 minutes to go, 1st half.
And with this offense, with the wing T, it's what it is. Everybody in the backfield, your wing back, your halfback, and your fullback are going to touch the football somewhere along the way. And what they do is they set it up. The sweep will stretch the defense. If they think the linebackers are going too far fast outside, we'll come back with a counter or the trap in the middle. We run the counter and the trap in the middle. Linebackers step up. Now we'll go back outside with the sweep. Kind of feed each other off, feed each other those running plays.
2nd and 11. Loss of 1 on that last play. Casson Avoid keeps it himself. A stiff arm inside the 10. Lowers his shoulder inside the 5. That's your quarterback doing that.
Wow, I'll tell you what, K-State, I'll tell you what, they got themselves a fullback. How about Casson Avoid? He's just running over people. Good job on hiding that football. You didn't see it, and then he gets in the open field. Let's listen to the hit.
Let's check in with Jim Hayes.
Guys, Coach Dunn says Casson Avoid is one of those kids, when you tell him he can't do something, he tries harder just to prove people wrong. He says that stubbornness has rubbed off on his team, and we're seeing some of that stubbornness, Dan, in this drive.
No doubt. 1st and goal. Ball on the 3 for the Cardinals. Diving ahead, and that's a touchdown. Noblet, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
Noblet hits pay dirt. I'll tell you what, they have done an excellent job. And again, this wing T creating so much confusion right now for Blair Oaks in terms of stopping it. Look at this. Look, you think it's going to go outside? No, Noblet comes inside, doing a good job, showing some nimbleness. Look how he just kind of sidesteps back inside, able to get the running lane for the touchdown.
3-yard touchdown run for Noblet. $15 plays, 85 yards. Took 6:10 off the clock, and we are tied back up. Good ball game with Lawson and Blair Oaks. They have scored on every possession so far. We've seen 28 points put up combined, and it's 14-14.
Exactly right. And again, you're looking at the wing T, and this time here's your wing going to be coming in motion this time. So you're thinking it's going to come outside, but just give it to the fullback up inside. See, now the linebacker, Singer, that time was looking that time. Middle linebacker number 40 was looking for the sweep. Now he's no way he can come back on Noblet, who just takes the dive in for the touchdown.
So we're tied up 14-14 with 6:04 to go in our 1st half. The 7th annual Misha Sportsmanship Summit will take place on Thursday, August 7th. Mark your calendars now. The summit is open to students and all adults. Visit the Misha website for details. Again, August 7th. And that will be in Springfield, Missouri. Had a chance to participate in that the last few years, and it's always a fun afternoon. 15 plays, 85 yards.
Casanovoid right now, he's the key to this offense. And we talked about that, both quarterbacks in the stand-up, that they were the linchpin to these offenses, the catalyst. Casanovoid with big runs outside the pocket to keep this offense going.
Deep kick, boomed out of the end zone. That's how you kick it.
That one ended up in the Mississippi.
That's Troy Green, and he's an interesting story for the Lawson Cardinals. As Green had a broken leg as a sophomore, and some thought that his athletic career would be over. His coach says he's got a chance to play football in college if he'd like to, but he's leaning towards soccer, and I guess we just saw why.
And I'll tell you what, I still remember his picture on the front page of the paper in Kansas City in the sports section with that broken leg. And I mean, it was a compound fracture, and you had to close your eyes. It was so ugly. It's amazing he came back to play in the game.
Movement in the backfield, but no call on the play. Scheikels has it and loses yardage.
I'm not sure about that pitch by Justin Eichen. That was kind of a 360 shovel pass look, just get rid of the ball.
And what have you noticed here with Justin Eichen, the quarterback of Blair Oaks? He's been just tremendous here this afternoon.
Yeah, he has been able to roll out of the pocket and just be able to find his receiver, Otto. You've seen a guy who has nice delivery on the football, even rolling to his left, and you can see the relationship that he has with his receiver, Brandon Otto, that they've worked on a lot of these in the offseason. That's why they know where each other is on the field.
Otto with 2 touchdown receptions on the afternoon. Trying to keep it himself, Eichen, and he is tripped up defensively by Devin Mellon.
Yeah, number 35 that time, doing an excellent job of penetration. Beat the center backside or the guard. The zone blocking that time, able to get in on the backfield, make the tackle.
Wanted to run the option, but Mellon was there, the 5'11" sophomore.
I'll tell you what, whether you're working against that wing tee or the option, that nose tackle's got to be your meanest and your toughest man on the defensive line. He's got to be able to control that center. That time, Mellon doing a great job.
3rd and 13 for Justin Eichen and the Falcons. Rolls to his right, keeps it himself. Avoids one tackler across the 30 to the 35, knocked out of bounds, and they pick up another first down. Both these teams have been able to convert those 3rd and long situations.
Yes, they have, and it all starts with their quarterback. Excellent athlete, and this time Eichen, the quarterback, getting in the open field, showing some tremendous athleticism. Nothing downfield. I like the way he tucks the football away. Now it's just a little juke, a little sidestep, in for the first down.
4:36 to play, first half. A pickup of 21 on that last play. And for the Falcons, they are 3 of 3 in 3rd down conversions.
We got 2 scoring machines going right now.
Ball on the 38 for Blair Oaks. Eichen with time, avoiding pressure, tucks it again. Late flag on the play and a big hit near the 36. And that hit was your quarterback again, Casanovoid.
And I think we're going to have a holding on this play, number 57, Wilbers. The center on the play, I think they're going to get him.
How about Casanovoid? Here's a kid that's playing quarterback. He's also playing linebacker.
Usually, you know, in high school, your best player is playing quarterback, and he's usually the middle linebacker too. Casanovoid, excellent athlete.
10 yards, spot a foul, repeat first down.
You know, just looking at Casanovoid too, he doesn't look like a senior in high school, does he?
Not at all.
He looks like a grown man. Probably put him over there at K-State right now and he could play. It's a little shaken up on the play.
Ball on the 19. First down and 29 after the penalty. Good little breathing room. Gain of 7 on the play.
I'll tell you what, with both of these offenses, 1st and 29 doesn't seem like much of a challenge, does it?
Not at all. That was Scheikels. As you see, Joe Lubert will check in now for the Falcons.
So they get a nice run on the play, get some of it back. Try to take the pressure off the quarterback so he doesn't have to stand in the pocket. You know, the defense is going to be laying their ears back and coming after you now.
Play clock to 3. Eichen, the throw. Catch is made. Big time hit, though, by Robinson.
And that time Robinson coming up that time. Robinson, excuse me, number 4 that time, stepping up and doing a better job of reacting to the football, making sure that Lubert, number 5, doesn't have anywhere to go after he makes the catch.
Second catch for Lubert on the afternoon. Just over 3 minutes to go. And here we are again, another big third down, 3rd and 18 for Blair Oaks.
So I think he'll probably get Eichen outside of the pocket. That seems like where he's had his most success in terms of finding his receiver, Otto, easier to see down the field.
Yeah, and you got to find number 13 out there. He has been terrific for Blair Oaks. The wide side of the field. There he is.
Right at the top.
And it looks like the Falcons are going to have to take a timeout. Play clock was down to 1.
Exactly right. Try to find Otto, but he said they put him on the wide side of the field, give him some room in terms to operate, running the different routes.
It's time for a game break. A big third down coming up. Let's check in with Joe Goldberg.
All right, Dan, great game out there. And coming up at halftime, we'll take a look at highlights of this game. Plus, we'll preview the next game, the Class 4 Championship, and we'll take a look at the swimming championships from a couple of weeks ago. All of that coming up on FSN. But for now, let's go back to the Dome.
Thank you, Joel. So Class 4 coming up after our ball game here this afternoon, and then the big game this evening. We'll have that for you as well.
Rockhurst and Melville.
Class 4, though, you've got Parkway Central 12-1 against Lee Summit West. They are 13-0. For Parkway Central, their 11th playoff appearance and 4th appearance since '02. 3rd title game appearance. They've been the runner-up in 1992 and '97. For Lee Summit West, 1st title game appearance. Semifinals in '05 and '06.
They have a quarterback over there, and Jake Johnson had a chance to see a couple of their games this year, thrown for over 1,400 yards, 15 touchdowns, and only 4 interceptions.
Let's check in with Scott Warman. Scott.
Hey, Dan, you guys were talking about Justin Eichen, Mr. Everything. You know, he was an all-state player along with 5 of his teammates last year, but that was as a wide receiver. He makes the transition to quarterback. It looks like he's doing a pretty good job for Blair Oaks this year, Dan.
Yeah, their coaching staff said, look, he's one of the best athletes we've got. We've got to get him the ball more, so they figured the way to do it, put him at quarterback. Out of the shotgun, pressure, throws it up into coverage, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by Troy Green.
Troy Green that time, and he was just looking for number 40 that time, Singer, the tight end, number 40, just going down on the seam. Eichen that time just delivered the ball. He felt like he was under pressure, had to get rid of it. He could have set his feet, couldn't put enough on the football, and again, the interception. Take a look, he just rolls outside the pocket, under the pressure, had to get rid of the ball and couldn't put enough on. And again, Singer that time just running the post. The quarterback that time, Eichen, thought he was just going to keep it as a seam pattern, but that time, as you said, Singer was running the post, not on the same page. Interception.
Troy Green, a senior. And another timeout taken. We saw Cassinavoid defensively. You see him there with the water bottle talking to his head coach. Asked to be taken out, and he did not return defensively. So you wonder if he was running out of gas maybe here before the end of the first half. But they've got what could be the final possession with 2:37 to go first half.
Yeah, he's done a lot in terms of running the football. And you talked about the heat in this dome and everything. A little different playing inside. A lot of emotion running this game. Getting lost in here for wanting to come away with the championship. The pressure on these young guys. And we've seen Cassinavoid running left and right. I mean, he's run a country mile already here in the first half.
The Lawson Cardinals have scored every time they've had the football, and that's the first time that Blair Oaks has been stopped.
Yes, it has been. And that time doing a much better job in coverage, and in terms of going 3 deep that time, they were not letting anybody get behind them that time, Lawson.
Man in motion, that's Ian Swartz. Cassinavoid rolls to his right. Wants his receiver to go deep downfield, just steps out of bounds. Well, stay with us all day long for our live coverage of the Missouri High School Football Championships. The Class 4 game, Parkway Central and Lee Summit West, as we talked about, coming up next at 3:15. Then the big game, Class 6, Melville and Rockhurst, kicks off at 6:30. We are proud to partner with Misha to bring you more than 9 hours of live coverage of the Show Me Bowl here from the Edward Jones Dome in St. Louis.
Yeah, in that last play, he had Logan Peltz that time. He was looking at him, Cassinavoid. Hey, what if he could have just held on for a little bit longer? He had Peltz wide open going down the sidelines.
Cassinavoid will hand it off. Deerduff. And another third down situation coming up for the Cardinals.
An excellent job that time, too. Number 68 getting in on that tackle. Brent Thomas.
Let's see if the Falcons can stop the Cardinals for the first time. It'll be 3rd down and 4 with the ball on the 43.
Trying to run the sweep that time, Lawson. Blair Oaks staying at home, working down the line. Pursuit coming from inside out, able to make the play.
Under 2 minutes to go first half. Tied up at 14. Cassinavoid out of the shotgun, keeps it himself and sidesteps a couple of tacklers, picks up the first down across midfield. Boy, they can't get him down.
I'll tell you what, we might have to change that word couple. I think he eluded the whole defense for Blair Oaks. Take a look at this. Just the quarterback keep running the option. They have him stop. 1 missed tackle, 2 missed tackles. Here's Singer, has them on a deadline, misses them. And Cassinavoid just showing some great athleticism, quick feet, able to pick up the first down.
It was 3rd and 4 and a pickup of 11 on that play. Big first half for number 16, Cassinavoid. 8 rushes for 52 yards. And picking up nearly 7 every time he runs the football. Let's check in with Jim Hayes. Jim.
You guys have been talking about how tall Cassinavoid is, 6'6", but down here on the field, he's clearly the tallest guy on the field. He's bigger than everyone when he runs the ball, and gentlemen, when he rolls out, he's so tall, he gets a clean look at the entire field.
Cassinavoid, Jim, is 6'6", again, 215 pounds, and he has had a huge afternoon.
Yeah, he has, and that's the one thing. Good point by Jim. You know, somebody that tall, when he does roll out, he can see the field well, doing a good job of keeping his eyes down the field. And once he decides to run with the football, he runs with some grit and some determination. I'll tell you what, you better bring your A game, or this guy's just going to run over you like a Mack truck, as he did on this play right there to Lubert, number 5. But his ability on running the option, and again, that's the desire, folks. That's not coaching. That's all heart. That's what K-State sees. That's why they wanted to come play for him.
1:41 to go first half. 1st and 10. Cassinavoid with plenty of time. Hit as he throws, looking end zone, and it is picked off. An interception for Blair Oaks. And that again is Sheichels. Derek Sheichels with the interception.
Poor throw that time by Cassinavoid. That's just a simple waggle, rolling out. Take a look. He's going to go to his right. He's following his guards. Now, look at, he doesn't have the fullback. They've got that covered. They have the route, deep route covered. He should just keep going or throw it away. Here he's trying to go deep, and Sheichels does a great job as the safety, making sure nobody gets behind him.
He took a big hit.
He did take a hit after throwing that football, but again, coverage was good that time by Blair Oaks to get rid of the football.
1:25, and the clock continues to roll here in the first half. So both teams on their first 2 possessions would score touchdowns. 3rd time they got it, both teams throw an interception. 2nd down and 8 after a pickup of 2, and a timeout is taken by Blair Oaks.
Both teams showing a good balance in terms of running and throwing the football this afternoon. But again, now you saw Blair Oaks on that drive doing a much better job in terms of coverage.
Misha wants to thank the National Football Foundation and College Hall of Fame, St. Louis Tom Lombardo chapter, for its contributions in providing regulation high school goalposts for this event. We thank them very much.
Great afternoon here.
1:15 to go first half. Both teams with 1 timeout remaining.
I'll tell you, this is a big thing for these kids. I remember when I went in college, and my first game I played in was at LSU. So you talk about a few people in the stands, some craziness at a high school level coming into play in this dome. It is a big thing.
Let's take a look at the scoring recap. If you're just joining us, between Blair Oaks and the Lawson Cardinals. Blair Oaks, first possession, they strike first. 25-yard touchdown pass. Lawson, 1-yard touchdown run. Blair Oaks, right before the half, a 17-yard touchdown reception. And back to live action. That's Kyle Henke, picks up the first down.
And I would think they would have continued here in this 2 minute in terms of rolling out their quarterback Eichen. That's where he's had his best success.
Lawson would also score again on a 3-yard touchdown run, and both those touchdown runs by David Noblett. So we're tied up at 14, just over a minute to go. Eichen Fires to the sideline. It is dropped and incomplete.
They're going for a wide receiver screen that time. He had Shickles, number 44, coming on the inside. I was going to look to hit him.
And the intended receiver, Joe Lubert. 60 seconds to play in our first half. This will be a 2nd down and 10 with the ball resting near the 25. Producer today, Brian McCann. Mark Halsey, our director. And a fine crew working the state title games. Out of the shotgun, Eichen tied up. Ball is loose. It's a fumble. Still loose. Inside the 5. And I believe it is recovered by the Cardinals, and it is. They recover it inside the 5. And on the recovery was Jacob Payne. And who started it?
Castonavoid.
You got it.
Comes on the blitz, and this is where the quarterback Eichen's got to be able to do a better job of putting the football away. He doesn't. The strip takes place by Castonavoid, and Payne is that number 79. Jacob Payne is able to pick up the fumble. That's a grease pig down there. Just fall on the football, folks. Don't try to run with it.
So with 49 seconds, Lawson will have it 1st and goal with the ball on the 3.
Castonavoid, he's been, I'll tell you what, both sides of football, whether defense or offense, making big plays all first half.
Castonavoid is tired. He's got his hands on his hips. Feeling a little bit of everything out there. Pitch it to the short side of the field. They won't get in. It was Ian Swartz. Knocked out of bounds. And 45 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it's number 5, Lubert, coming up and forcing Schwartz out of bounds on that play.
Let's see if the Cardinals want to go with Noblet again. Already with 2 touchdowns on the afternoon.
Yeah, they've had good success in that, setting it up first with the wide sweep. Linebackers thinking it's going to go outside, able to come back with the fullback right up on the middle. As you said, Noblet for 2 touchdowns here in the first half.
Pickup of 1 on the last play. 2nd and goal from the 2. Noblet. No, they're going to keep it with the quarterback Castonavoid, and he may have lost a yard on that play.
Yeah, he did. And I thought that ball went to Noblet too, number 32, the fullback. Castonavoid kept it, and he got penetration that time. That was number 13, Brandon Otto, in on the play.
A timeout taken by Lawson, their final timeout of this first half. On 3rd down, Lawson 6 of 7 in converting.
Let's take a look at this play here. Castonavoid looking the first to go to Noblet, his fullback, up the middle here, and he's going to go ahead and keep it. I'm not sure if this was designed to keep on this play, trying to run the option on this, but they had some penetration up front. Again, that was number 77 actually started it, and also number 34 in the back. So that was Spencer Jameson, the freshman, able to get penetration there, and that's what disrupts that option play. And Castonavoid had nowhere to go with the football. He had to try to keep it. Took a loss on the play.
35 seconds remaining. Castonavoid, a big 3rd down with the ball on the 2. Tied up 14-all. In the backfield, Noblet. They go with him. He dives ahead, and a touchdown for the Cardinals. His 3rd of the afternoon, 3rd in the first half for David Noblet.
And Noblet that time again, go back to your money, man. He's got the hat trick here in the first half. 3 touchdowns. Again, look at the movement. See the ghost guards pull, takes the middle linebacker out, and Noblet just comes on the backside. This is what we call, that's the 2nd play behind the buck sweep. That's just your fullback trap coming right up the middle. Excellent job by the left guard that time. Number 68 pulling. That was Nick Jordan getting around inside, getting on the linebacker.
Troy Green on for the extra point. That's good. 3 plays, 18 seconds. And Lawson is on top, 21-14. A costly turnover at the end of this first half as it goes against Blair Oaks.
Yeah, it was an excellent job that time again. Guys up front, getting it done. That's where it all takes place. And in the money zone, if you want the big money, the guys up front have got to get the job done. That time they do. Take a look at the offense line here. Now take a look at Nick Jordan right here, the left guard. Watch him pull out here. He's going to go around and get on the linebacker. Again, gets around inside, makes a trap. Excuse me, he just makes a trap play on that. I thought he got on the linebacker, but he got number 78 on that play, doing a good job in terms of getting Todd Alexander kicked out, full back up inside.
Lawson with the last 2 touchdowns and their first lead of the afternoon. See Troy Green boot this. He's all you need right now in special teams, isn't he? Just boots it out.
I'll tell you what, take it on the 20. Save yourself the run down the field.
So with 32 seconds left, Blair Oaks will have it.
I think maybe they're just going to kneel down on this one here, not take any more chances. They're going to have to find a way in terms of, if they're going to go back to the passing game, they're going to have to find number 16, Casson Boy, get 2 people on him. That's what Lawson has decided to do here in the second quarter. Blitz number 16 more. He's been able to get pressure on the quarterback all the time.
2 men in the backfield for Justin Eichen, the quarterback. Hands it off. Advance it to the outside. That's Henke. Across the 30. 26 seconds remaining. First down pickup. Throw it to the sidelines. One-handed grab. They'll step out of bounds. Matt Polloway. That's the tight end.
Yeah, the late hit on the sideline. Number 4.
The flag on that play. Knocked out of bounds near the 40. Personal foul here against the Cardinals.
Penalty that will make coaches at any level go through.
Well, he's going to step out of bounds anyway. Stop the clock. A late hit that time.
Late hit.
There's Noah Jordan.
14 yards on the run. First down.
And that puts them all of a sudden in Cardinal territory.
I don't know where you're at on the field. Somebody stepping out of bounds. And again, about big play. Now you're giving Blair Oaks a chance. Points right at the end of the first half.
Lawson 45. Eichen to keep it himself. Stays in bounds. Now steps out of bounds. And they will mark him at the 38, it looks like.
Yeah, Eichen doing a good job that time, sidestepping, blitzing linebacker, and able to get to the corner, pick up positive yards on that play when you thought it was going to be a loss.
Scheichels, the kicker, his longest, if you're wondering, this season, 40 yards.
Now Blair Oaks, again, that penalty, how big is that here at the end of the first half? You get talk about gaining back the momentum in this game.
13 seconds remaining in our first half. Eichen to throw, rolls left, fires, catch is made, out of bounds he goes. Brandon Otto, big first half for Otto.
Yeah, he did a great job on the comeback that time, and Eichen being able to find him. Again, this is where he's having success. He just can't stay in the pocket. Watch him on the rollout, and again, you're just seeing the out, and that doing a good job of getting behind the linebacker that time, Otto, and in front of the safety, and again, catching the ball with your hands. You see number 80 coming in on that play, make the play on that. Travis Nate, defensive back.
Right now it'd be a 44-yard attempt. 9 seconds to go in the first half. Eichen rolls to his left and throws it out of bounds wisely with 3 seconds on the clock.
Close to a late hit in that time by Lawson. After Eichen threw that football, number 1 took a shot. Again, going into the short side of the field, not a whole lot of room to maneuver around for his wide receiver Otto that time. You're seeing Lawson now playing 3 deep. Not going to let anybody get behind them. So there's going to be that zone, that area between the linebackers and the safeties dropping deep.
So Scheichels This will be a 44-yard attempt. Kick is up, and it is good. A 44-yarder to end the first half. Scheichels, a 44-yarder.
Take a look at Scheichels on this. Tell you what, he had more than enough distance on this kick.
A 44-yarder knocked through the uprights. And Scheichels allows Blair Oaks to score before the half, and that cuts the lead to 21-17. That is the third longest field goal in Show Me Bowl history. A 44-yarder.
It looked like that when the snap came, the holder that time had a little bit of trouble getting that ball down, was able to still get the kickoff.
Let's check in with Jim Hayes.
I'm with Coach Dunn. You guys lead at the half. Cashing in on that late turnover in the second quarter was big for you guys.
Well, there's no doubt. I mean, any momentum shift you can get in this game is going to be big because both teams are playing really well. We were playing a little bit tight early, and they were making some plays. I can't take anything away from them. We just got to settle down, and we've kind of settled down and are running our offense, and defensively we're just flying around again. So we've just got to keep doing what we do and hopefully tackle a little bit better and just keep moving the ball down the field.
Thanks for the time. Good luck in the second half. Let's send it to you guys.
All right, Jim, thanks. 21-17, 44-yarder to close out the first half. The first of 3 state title games on FSN Midwest this afternoon. Glad you're with us. We've got a good one in game 1. 21-17. The halftime show is coming up.
When you come to a high school athletic event or an activity,
support our students.
Help us retain a wholesome and educational atmosphere.
That's where we want to go. Represent your school and community with pride and class.
Respect us and our opponents.
Relax. Have fun. We are.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
This message provided by the 760 member schools of the Missouri State High School Activities Association.
Your typical well-built home, or is it? Under infrared, you can see it can be a sieve for energy.
At the Touchstone Energy Cooperatives of Missouri, we've got hundreds of things you can do to increase energy efficiency. From the Johnson's new heat pump, to the Walker family's programmable thermostat, to the Pearson's energy-efficient light bulbs. Whether the energy-saving device is high-tech or low, there's something all of us can and should do to help. We're all in this together.
This is Casey. This is Matt. This is Meredith. This is Larry. And this is a reminder, life is wonderful. Insure it. We do every day. Find out more about life insurance and our agents at shelterinsurance.com. Shelter Insurance. Seek shelter today.
Halftime at the Edward Jones Dome downtown. Lots of football to be played here in St. Louis. 3 games today on FSN Midwest, plus another 3 tomorrow. It is halftime of the Class II Championship. Back in the studio, Joel Goldberg, joined by former Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver and from the University of Iowa as well, Danon Hughes, made the drive down here, and so far we're seeing a great game.
Yeah, we are. For anybody that thought that this game was going to be quiet or was going to build up to that Rockhurst game, like T.O. said, you better get your popcorn ready because there are some teams that are coming to play today. Lawson and Blair Oaks are starting this day off very strongly, and I tell you what, it's been exciting to watch this first half.
It was exciting, and let's take a look now at those highlights and lots of offense in this one. And we head back to the first quarter, first drive of the game. Blair Oaks, the defending champs, and look at the beautiful pass from Justin Eichen to Brandon Otto, 7-0. Yeah, I know that Danon Hughes likes to see that good receiver play. First possession for the Cardinals, not through the air, but through the big fullback, David Knobloch. 3rd and goal, and it's tied at 7. Drive number 2 for the Falcons. And the defending state champs, Kyle Henke, breaking free all the way through the Lawson defense. 63 yards on the game. Blair Oaks back in business. 3 plays later, Eichen fakes to the tailback, and there it is. Otto again. What a connection that was for them. Falcons regain the lead. Otto's 9th touchdown of the season. Second quarter, the seesaw battle continues. It's Noblett again, diving in for his second score of the day. It's the Noblett Otto Show. 14-14, under 1 minute to play in the first half. Falcons put the ball on the turf. The players scramble for it. Jacob Payne of the Cardinals eventually. Who's going to get it? Lawson, first and goal, and it is going to be Noblett again. His 3rd touchdown, 3 short little runs for the big 225-pound fullback. 21-14, Cardinals on top. A late field goal cuts it to 21-17, a 44-yard field goal. And so we have a heck of a game going on right now at the Dome. Maybe if you love defense, maybe you don't like seeing the up and down of this, but this has really been entertaining and some really high-powered offense and a lot of talent on these two teams as well.
Yeah, there definitely is. I tell you what, it starts with Castonavoid at the quarterback position. Obviously, he looks like a man amongst boys out there. He's playing very strongly on offense and defense as well. And then Eichen on the other side, outside of that one fumble, he's been playing tremendously as also. So these offenses are really exciting to watch. They throw the ball. They got a great mix of run and pass. So it's been a very exciting first half.
It has been a lot of fun. And 21-17, obviously a lot more coming in that game, which we'll get back to in a little bit. Plus, Dana and I are going to take a closer look at those quarterbacks and break them down. We talked about Eichen a little bit. Castonavoid, he has just been a force on offense and defense. That Eichen-Otto combination has been a big one. 21-17, Lawson on top of Blair Oaks.
Of all the things kids learn growing up, many of the most important ones aren't found in books. They come from the experiences that only high school activities can offer. Here's where they learn organization and teamwork, where they develop self-confidence and tolerance and the capacity to work with others in reaching a common goal. Here's where they learn the lessons that will make them better citizens and stronger leaders. High school activities, they make the difference in our lives that will make a difference in our world.
Back here at the FSM Midwest Studios at halftime of the Class II State Football Championships. Joel Goldberg, Dana Hughes watching a great game here in St. Louis. And we talked a little bit about the quarterback play. Yes. Let's start with Justin Eichen, and then we talked about that combination with Otto. He really has been impressive.
Yes, he definitely has been impressive. And I tell you what, what's the most impressive thing about this kid is that he was a former wide receiver. This is his first year at the helm at the quarterback position, and he's playing phenomenally right now. But you go from last year, over 1,000 yards catching, 14 touchdowns, and now he's out there throwing the touchdowns as well. So he has a great combination between him and Otto. They have a great mesh, and it's just exciting to watch.
You know, I knew he'd be able to run the ball. He's got that athletic ability, but you see the way he's able to move it around in the pocket and the way he's throwing against the grain. That guy's really good. And I don't know that it's fair to say that one quarterback is better than another, but Castonavoid, there aren't a lot of guys with that kind of size, and we saw it on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Castonavoid out there, I mean, he's 6'6". He runs like he's 6'2". He runs like a wide receiver. He plays defense like a linebacker. He is just all over the field. Definite weapon. Drops his head like a fullback right there. So, I mean, this kid is a man amongst boys right now. But I tell you what, Blair Oaks is keeping up with him, and they're continuing to put points on the board and stay within this game. And that's what's great about this high school game right now, is that you have some great athletes out there with Eichen and Castonavoid. They know how to play football, and they're playing it hard on both sides of the ball.
You see him on both sides of the ball. That's typical for a Class 2. You get those top athletes for the Class 1, Class 2, maybe even a little Class 3. You're going to see them on both sides of the ball. I'm not sure what you did growing up in New Jersey.
Oh yeah, we were same thing. I mean, this is old school football right now. I mean, you very rarely see this nowadays, especially when you get into the larger schools where kids are playing on both sides. But you got to love the fact when there are players that play both. That's complete football.
Versatility means something, especially for the small schools. This, of course, coming from a guy that was drafted both in the NFL and Major League Baseball. But nowadays, you don't see as much of that anymore.
Yeah, you don't. And I think it's a shame personally because I think there are things that you can learn, and the things I learned personally from the baseball field that I brought over to the football field, especially when you're catching punts and kickoffs, how to go back like a fly ball, and those type of things. So I don't agree when there's players that just kind of pigeonhole themselves into one sport, but when you're an athlete, it all shows no matter where you're at.
And we're not going to pigeonhole Danon as well. He's headed down to the Dome to call the Class 4 championship. We'll preview that coming up in just a moment. 21-17 the score. Lawson on top of Blair Oaks at halftime at the Edward Jones Dome.
If you believe I will believe in what will be.
Even the first day I met Coach, he made me feel like I could do better.
You can do better.
If you believe in me.
I hated that. Feeling like the best I could do would only last one day.
I will believe in what will be.
But I stuck with it. Well, actually, he stuck with me. When I finally did win, he wasn't surprised.
I knew you had it in you.
Believing. Pass it on.
You did real good.
A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Great play in the Class 2 championship first half. We have seen a lot of strong offensive play. I hope to see more in the second half as it is 21-17 right now. Well, later on today, it is the Class 4 championships. That coming up next. Should be a good game in that one as Parkway Central will take on Lee's Summit West. For Parkway Central going up against an undefeated team. They're 12-1. Their coach, Mark Goldenberg, it's always been nervous all along.
Sick since the playoffs started. The amount of tape that we try to watch to prepare and get a game plan in, it is tough to do. Sunday was our first day off in 18 or 20 days, so not only the preparation but just the wear and tear on the kids is something we had to be real careful with.
Well, so much going on this time of the year with the fall sports. Obviously, an action-packed weekend of football this weekend. 3 games today on FSN Midwest, 3 tomorrow. We told you about the soccer earlier. Swimming wrapping up recently as well. Let's take a look at that.
The Rockhurst Hawklets continued their athletic dominance both on the field and in the water as they raced for their 4th consecutive team title in boys swimming and diving with an impressive 313 total points. Blue Springs finished second, nearly 100 points back, and Columbia Rockbridge, Springfield Kickapoo, and Park Hill South rounded out the top 5. Individually, not a single state record was broken, but it was an exciting day in the pool at the St. Peter's Recplex. David Benucci of Columbia Hickman won the diving title with Chris Kelly of Kirkwood and Ford McKinley of Rockhurst also receiving medals. Columbia Rockbridge defeated Rockhurst by 4/100ths of a second to take home gold in the Team 200 medley relay. But in the 200 freestyle relay, it was Rockhurst nudging out Blue Springs for the gold. The final team event was the 400 freestyle relay, and again, it was Blue Springs sneaking by the Hawklets to claim gold. Darian Thomas of Blue Springs South won gold in the 50 freestyle with Hazelwood Central's John Kraus finishing second. In the 500 freestyle, Columbia Hickman's Michael Sheehan took gold over Zach Boland of Blue Springs by nearly 4 seconds. The final 6 events saw 3 swimmers each win gold, beginning with Ethan Rose of Park Hill South. Rose won titles in both the 100 and 200 freestyle events to help his Panthers finish in the top 5 overall. TJ Owner of Greenwood defeated Andrew Simic of Fort Zumwalt West by a time of 49.67 seconds in the 100 butterfly to take home the gold. Later in the day, Owner claimed gold in the 100 backstroke for his 2nd medal of the event. Finally, Ben Solari of Hazelwood West was victorious in a pair of events, starting with his first place finish in the 200 individual medley. In the final individual event, Solari outlasted Wyatt Hodges of Rockbridge to make it 2 for 2 in winning gold. The Rockhurst Hawklets only took gold in one event, but 10 top 5 finishers propelled them to their 4th straight championship.
Congratulations to all of the champions and competitors in swimming. Lawson on top of Blair Oaks, 21-17. We'll check in with Dan and Richard coming up on FSN.
When you come to a high school athletic event or an activity,
support our students.
Help us retain a wholesome and educational atmosphere.
That's where we want to go. Represent your school and community with pride and class.
Respect us and our opponents.
Relax. Have fun. We are.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
This message provided by the 760 member schools of the Missouri State High School Activities Association.
Teens grow so fast. Worry about acne. Are moody and emotional.
Get out of here!
It's hard to tell typical teen issues from anabolic steroid use. That's what Taylor's parents thought too. Find out if the changes you see are just growing pains or a growing problem.
Help kids make the right choice. Go to avoidsteroids.com to find out how. A message from the National Federation of High Schools with support from the NBA and NHL.
Electric co-ops don't just generate power. They generate ideas. We also share them. At your Touchstone Energy Cooperative, we never stop thinking of ways to help everyone be more energy efficient. New technologies to improve reliability. Opportunities that can benefit us all. We know a single idea can spark hundreds. With all those ideas coming into contact, we can create solutions to whatever challenges come our way.
Welcome back to the halftime show. Lawson and Blair Oaks, a shootout in the first. And you take a look at the numbers there. Lawson able to run and pass, more passing from Blair Oaks and more total yards. The difference in the game so far in the score, that one turnover, but you did see the late field goal to cut this one to 21-17. Let's head back out to the Dome. Dan McLaughlin, Richard Baldinger, and guys, this one's been unbelievable, just back and forth, and some great athletes out there as well.
Yeah, real good athletes, especially offensively. When you talk about the quarterbacks, those two have not disappointed, but also some receivers have stepped up in this game as well.
Yeah, and starting for Otto. I mean, he's had a great first half for him here, and also Castonavoid also on the other side for Lawson. But take a look for Blair Oaks. It's all about Otto here in the first half. 2 nice touchdowns, and it all because of Justin Eichen able to be able to deliver the football. I love the way Otto runs routes. He's going to continue to be a big part of their offense in the second half.
How about a guy that plays quarterback but also can play defense like that?
Yeah, Castonavoid, I'll tell you what, he's some fine for Kansas State, but his ability to make tackles, and then when all things break down, to be able to get outside the pocket, create something new. But his running ability, watch him run, as I said, a lot of grit and a lot of authority. He's got some fullback in his blood.
How about some of the changes you anticipate now and what they do adjustment-wise here in the second half?
Well, for Lawson, for one thing they're going to have to do is continue. They thought they did a little better in the second quarter in terms of tackling. They're going to have to tighten up coverage, especially on Otto. Look for them to double team. And on the other side for Blair Oaks, Justin Eichen, he's got to continue to get outside in terms of that's where he's going to have his best success running the football.
All right, it's halftime, the first of 3 state title games here on FSN Midwest. Let's send it back to the studio.
All right, Dan, Richard, thank you very much. We'll catch up with you in just a moment. Yes, a post-Thanksgiving feast of football, and it's been a good one at the Dome. Dan and Richard are back with the second half. Coming up next, 21-17, Lawson.
When it comes to going bald, you now have a choice. Advances in medical science have resulted in the world's first and only permanent solution to hair loss.
It is your real hair. It's your natural hair. You wash it, you cut it, you swim with it.
Bosley is the world's most experienced hair restoration experts, having pioneered virtually every major advancement in the art and science of hair restoration.
I'm very satisfied, very happy with what I've done. This has got to be one of the best decisions I've made in my life, I'll tell you that.
Bosley Hair Restoration is a relatively simple outpatient procedure. The results look completely natural, and it's affordable on nearly any budget. Call the toll-free number now to receive your free, no-obligation information kit that will help you decide if hair restoration at Bosley is right for you. You don't have to accept going bald. Do something about it right now.
Call 1-800-474-9908. That's 1-800-474-9908. Call now.
And we are back Just about set to go for the start of the second half. Game 1 of 3 state title games from the Edward Jones Dome in downtown St. Louis. Along with Richard Boldinger, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Great to have you with us. Cassinavoy, the K-State recruit. Outstanding first half for the Lawson Cardinals, and they have the lead 21-17, but real costly. And I'm curious to see how this first 5 minutes of the second half will play out. And they always say it's the most important 5 minutes of the game, but curious to see how Blair Oaks and also Lawson responds to that long field goal, the third longest in Show Me Bowl history. And it shouldn't have happened. I mean, we're under 30 seconds basically, and they had the football, and you're not anticipating them to drive. Not only do they drive, they put up points on the board. Sometimes that's a momentum shift.
And the one thing you have to remember in that drive, the reason why it happened was the big personal foul on the sidelines, the late hit to allow that drive to continue. But what I look at is just some momentum that Blair Oaks captured right there at the end of the first half. Let's see if they can carry that over here into the second half.
Take a look at the first half stats, as both teams would score on the first 4 possessions combined of this game. But what stands out for you?
Well, just Lawson, of course, we knew they would be able to rush the football. Yardage isn't that bad, but the turnovers here, as you see, by Blair Oaks, 2 of them, and that was costly. It allowed Lawson to pick up some points. That's going to be a big determination here in the second half.
Let's take a look at how Lawson got here. They are undefeated. And Lawson, one of the top teams in Class 2. They are ranked #1 in the state. Their second Show Me Bowl appearance, last one was 03. The KCI Conference, 6-0. They finished first. You see the teams that they beat in the playoffs to get to the Show Me Bowl.
And the big one was against Hogan Prep, be able to put up 31 points. I knew that this team at that time, Lawson, their offense was for real. Saw part of that game and everything. So I knew that they were on a roll. Right now they're looking like that here in the first half of this game.
Lawson will have it first possession of the second half. It's kicked away by Sheichels, young man that hit the 44-yarder. Fielded inside the 15 and brought out across the 30-yard line. So good field position to start the second half for the Lawson Cardinals and Joe Cassinavoy.
For Blair Oaks now, again, it's how do you stop this wing T, and also Joe Cassinavoy, because here you have a great offense in the wing T. So much misdirection, sleight of hand, where's the ball coming from? But when you put a quarterback like Joe Cassinavoy, it makes it that much more difficult.
Let's check in with Jim Hayes.
Dan, Coach Dunn telling his team in the huddle just before the half started, it's time to finish the job. He said, defensively, remember, when you get your hands on someone, be sure to bring them down. Dan?
All right, Jim, thank you. Jim Hayes on the sideline along with Scott Warman. And the give is to David Noblet, who had 3 touchdowns in the first half.
Some love to the fullback on that play. Nice little belly action. And again, wing T, be able to hit both strong side and weak side to make sure that Blair Oaks, in terms of their defense, covers every gap up front.
Noblet had 5 carries in the first half, and 3 of them go for a touchdown.
I said that's the hat trick. He gets a pay raise after this one.
Second down and 8. Both teams very successful on third down situations in that first half. Play clock was down to 1. The give is to Ian Swartz. Brought down at the 38. Swartz, a 5'10 junior.
Kyle Henke on that time, number 33, able to come back and get in on that play. Again, a lot of misdirection up front. Take a look at it. You see the guards pulling, see the fake, the play action in the backfield. But again, people making sure they wrap up Singer in on the play. Gang tackling, so important.
Lawson was 7 for 8 third down situations in that first half. It's 3rd and 4. Cassinavoy wants to throw, now runs, picks up the first down and brought down across the 45.
I'll tell you what, when he rolls out, you're going to have to spy on this guy. You're going to have to put one defensive player to find him. Because this is a design rollout, design sprint out. Watch him get outside the pocket. Excellent coverage that time by number 33, Henke. But again, Cassinavoy reads it. He gets going off the field, and at 6'6", tell you what, he runs like a fullback. He'll just run right over you.
Under 10.5 to go, just the beginning now of our third quarter.
Third down conversions, 8 of 9 for Lawson. You're going to be successful on offense.
They've already put up 21 points. They lead 21-17. Cassinavoy to throw, and a diving catch is made And that's Logan Petz, leading receiver for Lawson during the regular season.
Nice run in the first half. Petz here just runs the little hitch. And again, all these things. Watch Petz just run the little hitch, sits, comes back for the football. Doing a good job of catching that ball. A little low on the outside. But again, hitch in the body. Receiver has to come away with it.
Coverage on the play and the tackle by Justin Eichen. 2nd and 4. We're at the Edward Jones Dome in St. Louis. First of 3 title games on FSN Midwest. Wrap up and a tackle. Ball carrier that time was Deerduff.
And Brandon Otto that time doing an excellent job of just getting inside. Job of wrapping up again, seeing guards pulling. You see it's coming inside. This looks like a reverse. But again, that's the trail man on the backside, actually, Otto. He's got to stay home. He was there. He saw the reverse, able to make the play.
Here we go. Another 3rd down. 3rd and 3. This is a time now where the Falcons somehow, some way need to contain Cassinavoy. He is dominated in these spots.
Yeah, they got to get some guy to spy on him. They have to get a linebacker just to follow him and get up in his face. He's too good of an athlete when he takes off running.
Cassinavoy across the middle. Overshoots Petz.
I think that play was blown up with some penetration in front that time by Blair Oaks. And Cassinavoy just launched it down the middle of the field. Not the best place to throw that. Look at the penetration up front this time. And again, see that was number 77 on that. Jordan Basinger getting inside. And again, Cassinavoy nowhere to go with the ball.
Well, with all the success that they have had on 3rd down, they say, why not try it on 4th down? 4th and 3.
Midfield, tough place to be going for the 1st down.
Cassinavoy, though, will just pooch punt it away. And the kick will roll and takes a Lawson bounce and keeps rolling down at the 1. No, that's how you do it.
That's the best forward pass I've seen all day. Right there.
Takes a Cardinals roll, and now the Falcons will have it. And boy, they are going to be pinned in deep in their own end.
Protect the football straight ahead. Most important thing now, make sure you get both hands around the football. And it all starts at the center snap, too.
It was a 47-yard punt. Don't forget the 9th annual Misha Junior High Sportsmanship Summit Essay Contest is underway, and more than 400 schools around the state have the opportunity to participate for local, regional, and state recognition. The top 2 finishers, by the way, honored at Busch Stadium next summer, courtesy of Misha and FSN Midwest. Trying to get some breathing room, and that was Kyle Henke.
Brandon Priest, the linebacker that time for Lawson, able to get in. On the legs of Henke that time. A little bit of breathing room. Outside.
2nd down and 9.
Make sure about finding your target on your defensive man that you're blocking if you're in the offensive line now. Cannot miss now.
5 rushes, over 70 yards for Henke. Gets it again, still going, and brought down at the 5. 2nd and 3rd effort. Some extra breathing room that time.
They're taking care of the nose guard in that 30 front that time. Doing a good job up front. Take a look at Blair Oaks with the center. Look against some movement. That's number 57. Wilbur's the center. Again, that handoff looked a little shaky that time.
Sure did.
Henke not really having control of the football.
Noah Jordan with the stop for the Lawson Cardinals. 3rd down and 6. Chance of defense from the Cardinals sideline. Traveled very well with their fans from the Kansas City area. Eichen to throw. They hook up with the receiver as the catch is made by Otto yet again. And it's going to be very, very close to a 1st down.
Yeah, he just runs the out on this play, working against number 80 over there on the defense. That's Mage, number 80. Very close, but they give him the 1st down. And again, just go to your money man, Otto. Look how he knows exactly where the sticks are, presses his route, so when he comes back, he's still going to be able, once he makes the catch, has enough for the 1st down.
So just enough. A 3rd down conversion again. Otto 6 catches, 2 touchdowns, 89 yards in the state title game. And again, they just don't look smooth with these handoffs right now.
Yeah, Eichen trying to run. I think he wanted to pull that ball out. It looked like he had the edge that time, and his dive man, Hankey, that time took the ball. And in fact, it looks like he might even have said something to him.
Well, sometimes it's the quarterback, if the coaching staff feels comfortable enough to either hand this off or to try to pull it back and make the decision himself, kind of the Vince Young type play that you saw him run time and again at Texas.
Well, actually that time there was penetration that time, but that ball kind of bounced out of his hands, and it looked like it hit Hankey on the left shoulder. Hankey was able to get control of it, not kind of a fumble.
Hankey again on 2nd and 8. Short pickup.
Right now they're going with that 8-man up front in the box, Lawson, so Blair Oaks is going to have to look to go vertical, I think, a little bit. We've been talking about handoffs. Let's take a look at it again. Look at the exchange. Again, having to reach a little bit far. It looked like he was a little late coming in his spin out that time. Eichen, in terms of his footwork, makes it difficult to get a clean handoff to your tailback. Line number 13, Otto.
Eichen 11 of 14. 3rd down and 7. Rolls right. And he's not going anywhere. In on the stop, Troy Green.
Troy Green, also Caleb Emery, number 76, got in on the play. Designed rollout to try to buy some time, not having much success standing in the pocket. But again, you see the pressure that time getting upfield. Also, number 10, Logan Peltz, making sure he keeps the quarterback in the pocket.
Eichen also serves as the punter for the Falcons. 31 punts on the season, an average of 32 yards. Low snap. Eichen may run for it here. To the 15, to the 20, 25, first down. Dangerous play. That takes some guts, and it pays off. You could see where he was lined up. He was not deep in the backfield that you normally see on a snap. And Eichen runs to the wide side and picks up the first down.
And look at the blocking on the outside by the wide receivers. They're able to make this play go. And again, I think that the reason why he ran it, because look at the poor snap. Ball was on the ground. It was a design run, but the poor snap, again, looking on his left side, Eichen's able to pick it up and then gets to the outside. He looked like he wanted to kick it, but the poor snap forced him to run outside.
And watching how the line was blocking, it looked like they were trying to punt it. Eichen, after the pickup of 19, tucks it under, spins, and brought down at the 34.
Now Lawson just flying around on defense, much more aggressive here at the start of the second half.
Zach Matthews with the stop for the Cardinals. Boy, what a dangerous play, but it turns into a first down.
And yeah, you're exactly right, and I think that he just made a great play on that, Eichen. He had that set up. It looked like he was ready to set and just do the pooch kick, but again, the poor snap, he had to get it off the ground. No chance, worried about a block. Said, oh, I better take off and run with it. He gets the first down.
2nd down and 8. Eichen rolls to his right, fires into coverage, and it's intercepted. The second interception for the Cardinals this afternoon, and that's Robinson who picked him off.
Yeah, and Eichen on this one, this is just a poor throw, but also, too, he has to understand where his blocking is. This is a design rollout. Everyone, the fullback's looking to kick out, got to stay inside.
Nathan Robinson, the 5'9" junior, with the interception. Back to Lawson when we come back, and they lead it by 4. The heart and soul of Missouri's high school and junior high athletic contests. Officials, keeping the games fair, giving back to high school sports, making a difference. The 750 MSHSAA member schools and more than 300,000 high school and junior high student athletes salute Missouri's contest officials. Register to become a high school official today. MSHSAA, take a chance and make a difference.
Head out on the highway, looking for adventure, and whatever comes our way.
Hey, this phone's taken.
Sir, I'm a bit happy.
Hey, thanks. Hey, I appreciate it.
Gratitude. Pass it on.
These things we count on every day started as ideas. Ideas from the minds of African Americans. Support minority education today so we don't miss out on the next big idea tomorrow. The United Negro College Fund. A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
The 2007 Show Me Bowl on FSN Midwest is brought to you by Touchstone. Football players are part of Arcoa, and Touchstone is tapping into the power of human connections. And coming August 2008, it's the 7th Annual State Sportsmanship Summit, presented by Misha, keeping respect in interscholastic sports.
Last 2 championship on the line in downtown St. Louis. Back inside, it's Lawson with a lead of 4 over the Falcons of Blair Oaks. Richard Baldinger alongside. I'm Dan McLaughlin. First of 3 state title games on FSN Midwest.
And I had mentioned that after the halftime, turnovers would be a big part of this. Here, Lawson gets good field position.
Shotgun. Now Cassinavoid moves under center. Rolls to his right. Gets hit as he's thrown. And it's incomplete. A late flag on the play. The intended receiver was David Noblet.
We're going to get Brett Lepper, number 24, on interference. Got there a little bit before the football. We're going to get him with his left arm, it looks like. Draped across. Side judge has excellent view of that.
Pass interference on the defense. 15 yards, previous spot, automatic first down.
Well, Mr. Cassinavoid has had an outstanding career at Lawson, leading the Cardinals. And with more on that, let's go downstairs. As you see the pass interference call, let's check in with Scott Warman.
All right, Dan, thank you very much. We know what a one-man wrecking crew it almost seems for Cassinavoid. And Baldy was just talking about, hey, keeping an eye on this big quarterback. Well, watch the middle linebacker for Blair Oaks, number 40, Michael Singer. It looks like he is keeping his eyes peeled on right now, guys.
Yeah, he'll be the spy man, and what he does is he just stays there. That's his only read, and wherever Cassinavoid goes, that's where you go. It's not hard to lose a 6'6" in the backfield.
Working out of the shotgun, he keeps it himself. One man to beat, and diving over him, Cassinavoid across the 40-yard line and brought down near the 37.
I'll tell you one, that run play action fake, he hides the football well. And then once he gets into the open field, take a look at the feet. Look at the block on the outside.
Oh.
Decleater. Check your teeth on that one. But watch this. Watch these 6'6". Look at them high hurdle people. Almost loses it. They able to gain the ball back. Nice run by the quarterback.
How about that crackback block there? Ouch.
Check your teeth in the morning. You might not be there.
Cassinavoid, 11 rushes, 63 yards, averaging close to 6 every time he carries it. Looks like he's trying to set up a screen, and it was set up, but the throw is a little bit short.
Yeah, it was short, and that was a nice throwback, and it was trying to set up the throwback screen. Not a good throw that time by Cassinavoid.
Trying to get it to Ian Swartz. And here we go with another 3rd down coming up.
They had a lot of acreage to gain on that if he could have made connect with Schwartz on that. Lineman out in front. Defense had rolled towards Cassinavoid that time, so it was set up perfectly.
Four for 9 through the air, 69 yards, 1 interception for Cassinavoid. Spins out of trouble. And finally brought down at the 38, so no gain for Cassinavoid. May have lost a yard on the play, and a 4th down coming up.
Yeah, they tried to run into strength that time, and just too many people. Excellent job that time by Blair Oaks on defense in terms of getting penetration up front. They stopped the option play. That was number 70 also, too. Anthony Bailey getting in the backfield, and then you see number 13 finish the play, Brandon Otto.
4th down and 7. Cassinavoid is going to take a timeout. Remember, Lawson in this spot last time kicked it away, a little pooch punt by Cassinavoid, and they downed it near the goal line.
And that's this is a big stop, but this is a big 4th down here for Blair Oaks on defense. Again, talked about turnovers here at the start of the 2nd half. They're going to play into it. Got Lawson in good field position. Keep them from putting points on the board would be huge in terms of keep you in the game.
So decision time here for Todd Dunn and the Cardinals. Tomorrow at 1:30, we look ahead to the huge game in Kansas City, the Mizzou Kansas Preview Special. Tomorrow at 1:30, right here on FSN Midwest.
Dan, when you talk about great games, talk about sporting events, tomorrow night's game will be one that you chalk up in your lifetime.
Let's hope. Let's hope it lives up to the billing.
It will, I promise you. Just taking a look at the last play, just trying to run the quarterback option to the left side here. And you take a look on there and watch the penetration here. They do a good job. The nose tackle position here. Once again, you can see him. He gets upfield, both sides, able to penetrate. And what he does, guard pulls away, get in the backfield, tackle the first guy you see.
Cassinavoid is standing at the 45. They need 7 yards to get the first down. Low snap. Blitz is on, and they are close to the first down. They got it. Cassinavoid to Deerduff, and Deerduff picks up the first down for the Cardinals.
Yeah, and Otto came off the corner like a bullet. But Cassinavoid stays in the pocket, continues to roll left to his little bit. Take a look at it. He feels the heat coming. He takes the shot, but still is able to deliver the football there to Deerduff for the first down.
That was huge. Rolling the dice a little bit, it pays off. The Blair Oaks